he came off 8 points, 9 rebounds after that night. He did look a little sluggish. He had a little wrap on his leg, maybe a minor cut, but he was fine last night, or Tuesday night against Kansas. They came out against Kansas in the Champions Classic up in New York. It was the marquee game at 9 o'clock, and they showed at times why they should be ranked number 2. They beat the Jayhawks 75-65.
Yeah.
I thought it was a great game after, for Kentucky in the second half. The first half, if you think about it, they were tied at halftime, and it was a sluggish first half. Marcus Teague, I believe, had about 6 or 7 turnovers.
Tyler was trying to trade Marcus Teague for Elijah Justice by halftime. Marcus struggled, but it was a big time, big lights.
First game, New York. I think he was trying to be a little too flashy at times. Yeah. Calipari will instill that. Brandon Knight, a lot of you kind of scared of Marcus Teague. Remember, Brandon Knight struggled the first couple games of his college career.
And there was times that John Wall even struggled in the beginning.
I mean, everybody's going to struggle. You're a freshman at college, any team, you're going to struggle at times. Just happen to be the first big-time lights right then and there. But, yeah, moving on with that, Kentucky rolled in the second half. They came out hot. They were throwing oops left and right to Anthony Davis. Terrence Jones did his thing, came out strong. I would say they stopped Thomas Robinson. They contained it. I looked at Kentucky was just up and down the court as quick as they possibly could. They're going to turn it over. Calipari says, yeah, you have to turn it over. They averaged 11 last year. They're going to average probably a few more this year. But it was a good game. It was a learning game for these guys. They're all freshmen coming in to play Kansas, and kind of an experienced team, a top program on the lights in New York. It was something they needed to prove.
And there's a lot of not just Louisville fans, but other fans as well saying, this is a down year for Kansas. I think even Matt said, this is a down year for Kansas. But at the same time, what type of game it was, it's a big win, and I think this should be counted as a big win because of where it is. What type of atmosphere it is. It is Kansas. Self is a great coach. It should be counted as a big win. I think if Louisville, even if it was a down year, if we win on Saturday, it's still Butler. They still win a national.
It's still a good win. Back-to-back Final Fours.
It's a road game. It's an impressive win. 3 games.
Just like last season, Louisville beat Butler to start out the Yum Center. It's the opening of the Yum Center. Last year. Everybody thought, they're kind of down. They lost to Evansville, just like this year. They made it back to the Final Four, so that's a great win. Could be another good win for Louisville here in a few days. But what I took from this game in the Kentucky-Kansas game, they had 5 double-figure scores. A lot of them were freshmen. That's great. But Kyle Wiltshire played only 3 minutes.
I think that's a shame. I think last time I was on the show 3 weeks ago, we talked about how, the kid's special. I think he's not as athletic maybe as Davis or Gilchrist, but the kid's a special player. He could start for any team in the country. He can shoot the lights out at almost 7 foot. Cal has a bench now. He needs to learn how to use it.
Yeah, I will agree. Now, maybe there was something, under the table that nobody knows about. Maybe something happened.
Maybe you went driving the night before?
Maybe he was involved. Maybe there was something we just don't know about because, 3 minutes from a guy who's a number 19 recruit in the nation, you're basically one of your backup big men because Eloy Vargas is normally, he's just not there ever. I'm not going to say he ever is. So, you got to think Kyle Wiltshire will be he'll be there. He'll get more PT. It was just odd to see him only on the court for 3 minutes during the game. But again, the Cats and Cards both start out 2-0 to start the season. They got good season so far. I'm happy. You're happy. We're all happy.
We're losing some players, but we're starting to get some players back. Kevin Ware was eligible now. He's pretty excited about it. I'm pretty excited about it.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he's definitely gonna have to make an impact quickly. And a lot of people are down on him because he isn't maybe the best basketball player, but he is athletic.
Yeah, Matt's looking at porn over here. But we'll talk about that when we come back. We're going to a quick commercial break. And we'll come back and talk about a little bit of Kevin Ware. He's eligible again. Stacy Poole, he's transferring out. This is the Bluegrass Breakdown Radio Show.